All right, let's roll. The Twisted Tuesday has begun. The Pimps, the players, the hustlers, the patrons, everybody else in between. We step up and in after a NIT screw job in which Wichita State were winning 64-57, man. They had a 7-point lead with about 3 minutes left to go in the game. And there was one bad possession, essentially. You know, the point guard didn't pass the ball to the center, and the center got all pissed off. They nearly got in a fight after the play, and they never scored another basket again for the rest of the game. Like really. Like, when I saw it happen, I knew it was going to be bad. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, guys, you're in the fucking NIT semifinal. This is like game fucking 40 for you this year. And like, you're still fighting about this shit? like unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. You guys, like, you come all the way from like middle of fucking nowhere in Wichita and shit. You come to the big city. You're about to win. You're up 64-57. And the center gets all pissed off. And the point guard mouthed off back. Like the center went like fucking right after him after the play when the whistle blew. And said, yo, give me the fucking ball. And the fucking point guard mouthed off back to him. The coach had to separate them, and they never scored another basket again. Day late, dollar short, man. You know, I don't try to cry. I don't like crying about losses and stuff. It is what it is. A bad pick, it's a bad pick. And it was a bad pick because it was a loser. But, you know, when you're up 64-57 with a couple of minutes left, it's just that shit shouldn't happen, you know, especially with Wichita State. You wouldn't figure. And then Wichita State, they're down by 3. They're down by 3. They get the ball back with 30 seconds left, and the kid steps out of bounds. Fuck, they didn't even get a shot off. He stepped out of bounds. Another thing that you wouldn't expect to see at this time of the year, like you're in the semifinal of the NIT, you figure you know how, like the size of a regulated fucking basketball court. What's up, Cody? What's up, Jay? What's up, Sean? Oh, Bruce. What's up, Bruce? Henry. So we got another game on now, but this shit's pissing me off. Texas and TCU. The second part of the doubleheader here this evening. What's up, Ben Still? Well, it's, Cody, players are going to bitch and stuff. Tensions are going to run high, but, there's no reason to be that upset when you're winning by 7 points. It's like, all right, you didn't get the ball. There was a whistle after the play. It was like a TV timeout. It was like at the 4-minute mark. So it was like 3.5 minutes left or something like that. And it's true, like the announcer, the analyst was saying, hey, your big man's open. He's been open. Like it was simmering. Like there were a couple of times when the big guy was open in the paint and they launched threes and shit. That's the clash of modern basketball, right? Like centers don't really fit in anymore. So, like I said, the fucking point guard mouthed off back. They nearly went to blows, and then boom, they didn't score another point the rest of the game. And it was just turnover after turnover. They were all rattled after that because the coach started freaking out. Marshall started freaking out because they were fighting. And it's just like, I was going to say it's amateur hour, but they're amateurs. It's just too bad because they played really well. And they really just fucking pissed it away, like in the last 2 minutes type of thing. But shoulda, coulda, woulda, they did it. It is what it is. I had a feeling, I was going to go big on these games tonight in the NIT, and I decided not to. We're on the under of this Baltimore and Toronto baseball game. And that's 2-0 in the 9th inning. The Jays can't fucking hit, man. The Jays just can't hit. And the other Toronto team's losing 2-1 right now. So Bruce Chad's going to be in a good mood. The Jays are a serious fade fucking team. And I said it on Game Time Decisions today. Even if like Marcus Stroman pitches well, it doesn't mean they're going to win the game. That's exactly what's going on right now. 2-1 for Carolina. 13 minutes left there. The Montreal Canadiens are fighting for their playoff lives. They're tied now at 2. Columbus is getting their ass handed to them. They're about to lose 6-2. There's a little sliver of hope for the Montreal Canadiens. But Carolina's winning 2-1. Winnipeg blow. They're losing 4-1 to Minnesota right now. Colorado's losing 2-0 in a game that matters to them. We'll keep our eye on that. Bryce Harper returns to Washington tonight. I know he struck out in his first at-bat. Whatever. There was some booing and shit. It wasn't like over the top. He's got a double. He's got a double. No RBIs, but he does have a double in this game. He did strike out in his first at-bat, but Philadelphia is winning 2-0. They're in the 6th inning right now. I don't know, man. This booing shit's kind of getting old, really. The booing. Well, Stroman was good tonight. Stroman's been good in both of his starts. Stroman doesn't, he's not a hitter. He can't bat, too. All right, 12-8 Texas. Good start for the Longhorns, at least. Yeah, there's booing shit about all the time. Like, you know, every time a player you see with Tavares, and now you see with Harper. Like, the funny thing is, people, you know, some people, like, you know, some people leave jobs. Some people leave cities. I leave cities every motherfucking couple of years. People aren't booing me at the fucking airport on the way out. Like I don't really understand. I don't understand, like, why fans seem to think that players are going to fucking stay wherever they are forever. Like, nobody fucking stays anywhere for fucking ever. Like, I understand, like, in, you know, like LeBron James in Cleveland. You know, there's certain circumstances where it's like, yeah, that's, you know, like when you don't tell anybody and you go on TV and you make a decision like on TV and shit, then, you know, that's a bitch ass move. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, athletes aren't dickheads. You look at Antonio Brown and, you know, players have done like some dickhead things to deserve to get booed. But there's no, players don't stay anymore. Like, there's high turnover in today's day and age. It's not just the players, it's the owners as well. Right? There's a high turnover rate, like with players on teams and stuff. And, you know, that's what's become like the biggest games of the year all the time. Ooh, this guy's returning there, right? You know, that's what it's all about all the time. That's just the society we live in now. Like, they hype the return all the time. Ooh, the return, the return. Now, you look like Tavares came to New York the first time, and it was fucking hostile. He was back last night, and it was pretty docile. And it wasn't nearly as fucking hostile as it was the first time around. Which, you know, I kind of lose respect for them. They got to be consistent. Like, I get it. Like I said, in certain circumstances, I do understand it. Like in certain circumstances, I do get it where the fan base is going to dislike a player, but it's just sort of like automatic now. Like Bryce Harper is a good example. Like Bryce Harper would have stayed in Washington if they would have made a legitimate offer. They never did. You know, so like for all these dumbass fans that go and like, and I'm not even Bryce Harper's biggest fan. I think he's good, but I'm not like the captain of the Bryce Harper fucking fan club or anything. But the thing is, like these dumbasses, like the contract was going to be deferred until 2070 motherfucking two. Like, who the hell accepts that? Like, I don't care what fucking like all these jackasses that are in the stadium. You tell them, all right, yeah, come fucking paint my fucking fence. I'll pay you in 2072. Fuck. Like, yeah, they're going to say, I'm not doing that. But somehow Bryce Harper should do it. Right? Like, time and time again, I've said it a million times. Like, the fans will always take the side of the team. And the team knows this. The owners know this. The team knows this. It doesn't matter if the Washington Nationals are a bunch of fucksticks and they fucked it up and they never really made a real offer. You know, look, like Harper stated, the owner told him, you know, he wrote down on a piece of paper, $300 million, 10 years. Harper said, good. You know what I mean? He told his wife, all right, we're going to stay. And then the next time they met, they told him, well, it's 250 and it's deferred all the way till 2072. Meanwhile, Manny Machado is getting like up fucking front bonuses and, you know, guaranteed money, like fucking on the spot type of shit for the next 5 years. And like, you know, he's got an out clause after 5. Like the Nationals and whatever, man. Listen, they never won with Bryce Harper. So I'm not even criticizing them for not re-signing them. If you don't want to re-sign them, don't re-sign them. But as I stated, like these people that are freaking out and shit, like he's fucking, you know, the mayor of Washington had him as a Benedict Arnold and shit. It's a little over the top. Like, a little over the top, considering that, you know, he was never offered a contract. But teams are good at that, though. Teams are good at that. The rubes in Toronto fall for that shit all the time. Like the Toronto Blue Jays didn't offer Edwin Encarnacion a deal. Like they left it out there. They knew he was fucking kicking it around and talking to other teams. They never did anything. And then basically, when they knew he was going to fucking sign with Cleveland, they basically said, like, they threw this deal out there that wasn't as good. And then they sort of said, well, you know, hey, he wanted to leave. We offered him something. And then, of course, Tim and Sid and everyone else on fucking the Fan 590 and Sportsnet goes on, well, Edwin wanted to leave. It's like, yeah, he wanted to leave after they fucked with him for 3 weeks. Right? Like, out of principle, he just said, all right, screw this. Fuck. I'm going to fucking take a deal somewhere else. Like like I said, like the fans never really care about the facts and stuff. You know, to them, it's just, listen, you know, the average fan is broke. The average fan has a crap-ass job, isn't making money, and is resentful that fucking, you know, you heard it all the time with Le'Veon Bell. I work, fucking, I do this, I drive this, I do that, and, you know, I'm not complaining, I show up. You know, this guy's not happy with $70 million offer. It's like, well, whatever, man. You're not one of the best fucking running backs in the National Football League. It's like people have like this weird delusional fucking sense of grandeur somehow, that their skill in what they're doing is as valuable as what they're doing. You know, when 84,000 fucking people show up, you know, to watch you do your job, then you can fucking bitch for more money. Fuck. 16-10 Texas. They just had a shot of right outside of MSG, right on the corner where I am, like, daily. It somehow looks more impressive on TV. I'd say Jeff Feinberg's going to step up and in and join us. We'll talk a little golf, a little NFL football. The Alliance League has been shut down. And it's too bad the Alliance League couldn't get through the year. You know, we had done pretty well with it. We had done we were doing pretty well with the Alliance League. It's unfortunate, though. I'm always going to remember I lost my last Alliance League bet. I lost on Sunday night. As it seems like there was a lot of it looks like there's going to be another 30 for 30 about this league down the road. Ebersol is going to do another 30 for 30 and then try to sell a new league coming off the new 30 for 30. I don't know. There's, you know, the guy of the Carolina Hurricanes can't fully be blamed here. He had nothing to do with this league before. All right? He had nothing to do with the league before. So he had nothing to do with the creation of the league. He didn't promise anybody anything. Like, he had nothing to do with it. But if you recall, there was the big announcement that he came in with $250 million. And if you remember at the time, I said, well, he didn't really put $250 million in, but he basically is giving him a line of credit on a weekly basis. But the thought process was that, you know, they were going to get through the fucking season. And they don't need $250 million to get through the season. Yet, for some reason, this guy that owns the Carolina Hurricanes decided to, like, go to the NFL and aggressively try to get the NFL, like, basically he said, oh, if, you know, you guys don't come, you know, we're just going to shut the league down. And, like, why would the NFL? Like, the NFL is not their problem, your problem. Just because you're on the NFL network, it doesn't matter. Fuck, the CFL is on the NFL network, fuck, or at least it was. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's not like the NFL is joined at the hip with you because they fucking need 3 hours of programming. Right? So, like, you know, it was just weird. Like, I don't know. The Ebersol guy seems like he might have fucking been dishonest through this. Steve Spurrier says that he was told that the league was going to last 3 years. Like, when he got into this, he said that he was told that they have 3 years of funding and they feel as if though in 3 years they'll build a reputation and the NFL will come on board. Yet I don't understand how it goes from a 3-year plan to an 8-week plan. I don't know if they thought that ticket sales were going to bring more money in. And I'm telling you, these leagues never, even if they do well on television, nobody goes to these games. Like, the NFL has a decline in attendance, let alone like these leagues. Like, they need to do well on television. Yet the thing is, this wasn't like terrible on television, but it wasn't going to move the needle. And it wasn't going to make money. That was that was one issue, but they had to have known that going in. It's basically like opening a restaurant and closing after a month. You know, like, it's like, wow, you didn't really, you know. It was very, very mismanaged, you know. I don't understand, too, you know, they were paying players too much money. Their system was all flawed. But as I stated, I just don't get that how, like, CBS was fooled here. CBS was fooled. Like, because, you know, these networks, they don't want to get, you know, look stupid like this. Like right now, CBS, like get this, the Alliance League, CBS was going to put the Alliance game on television before the Final Four this weekend on Saturday. So they would have been on regular CBS television this Saturday. Now CBS has a fucking 3-hour fucking void to fill. You know, all these networks basically just lost this programming. There's only 2 weeks left in the season. Like they should have gotten through the season and then just dealt with this shit and move forward. You know what I mean? Eliminated a few teams, you know, tweaked the format a bit. Because honestly, there was potential there down the road for the NFL to get involved in this league. But you can't just come at them and expect them to come save you. You know, like it's like starting a startup company and then getting fucking pissed off that fucking Apple didn't buy you in the first fucking month. Fuck. Right? Like it's, you know, it's almost like that was the plan. Like, I don't know. I guess they never had, I don't know. Like, I don't, like Bill Polian is a lot of things. It doesn't seem like Polian's a dishonest guy. Like he, you know, Polian said he was lied to. He's not saying by who. Was it Ebersol that lied about the financing? If you recall, right at the beginning, man, there was a lawsuit against Ebersol that Ebersol basically stole fucking the idea from somebody else for all of this. So I don't know. Yeah, Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel misplayed his hand. Yeah, Johnny Manziel misplayed his hand pretty good. As Johnny Manziel was, you know, he had sort of he had mandates that he had to meet to stay in the Canadian Football League, to be, you know what I mean? So he had to like meet with the doctors and, you know, like I guess he's bipolar and stuff. So they basically want to see he's taking his medication and Johnny Manziel like purposely fucking missed the test and stuff. Because he wanted to go to the Alliance League. Even though it's less money, you know, I understand it from his perspective. It's closer to home. Johnny Manziel already has money. His family has money. He has money. Right? So you can understand his little motive. So he basically purposely sort of, oh, look at me. I violated my terms. And it was like double bluff. And then the Alouettes were like, all right, you're cut. Like, you know, the Alouettes wanted off the hook. They know he couldn't play. And if you're Manziel, another thing is too, did you really want to go back to Montreal this year and lose the job again? Like what you know, what were you going to get out of this? You don't need the money. How happy could he really be in Montreal? Montreal's a cool city, but you know, if you're Johnny Manziel, I don't think you're going to be overly ecstatic living in Montreal, being a fucking second string quarterback in the CFL. So he probably figured, hey, the Alliance League, it's easier to play there. I'll be closer to home. I'll go there. And of course, last week he fucking threw a pick six, got it fucking injured on the fucking return and never returned. That's how Johnny Manziel's fucking career is going to end, fuck, on a pick six and an injury. I always say it's a cold world. Fucking endings are never pretty for anybody. I said this before about Johnny Manziel, but I honestly mean it. In that I do believe he can play in the Arena League. He could play in the Arena League. You don't need arm strength in the Arena League. It's a fucking 50-yard field. You know what I mean? It's short. having a little mobility helps. And you know what? The thing with Johnny Manziel is he's not fast, but he is sort of mobile. So he can buy a little time in the pocket. He can do the little dink and dunk shit. Like he could play in the Arena League. The thing is, these Arena Leagues, they're the Arena League doesn't pay a lot of money at all. We're talking about $1,000 a game or something. The Arena League isn't the Arena League anymore. Honestly, I think quarterbacks made like $2,500 a game. But listen, the Arena League, the Arena League, it's too bad. The Arena League was one of the few leagues that could roll beside the CFL. That's what I'm telling you. Say what you will about the CFL, but it survives. Every other league comes and goes, and you hear it all the time. Oh, the CFL could be, CFL's in trouble. Now the CFL's laughing. Fuck. The CFL will just pick the best players from the AAF and move on. And because to be honest, there's really not too many people in the Alliance League that are going to get NFL shots. There's a couple of dudes that could be backups. There's a couple of dudes that'll be on a practice roster of an NFL team. And it sets up okay for Vince McMahon now. It gets the other league out of the way. Suddenly Vince is the only other football league in town. And one thing that Vince has that the Alliance did not have is fucking money. like Vince McMahon doesn't need the guy from the Carolina Hurricanes to lend him $5 million a week to keep it afloat. Vince has the infrastructure. Vince also knows too. Like, he's not dumb. Like, he must know, all right, we're not going to get fans here. Like, he's got a plan that he's obviously aware of. Listen, I don't like the cities that Vince chose. But Vince sold $272 million of his own stock to fund this. He must think that there's a niche for him in this. Like, that's the difference. Vince is very successful, right? I mean, from a television perspective, he understands TV, he understands ratings, he's got all these networks already. He's got fucking relationships with stadiums, arenas, and he's got juice too. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these stadiums are run by like the same arena authorities and all this type of shit. So he can cut deals at once. Right? Like, even like with WrestleMania coming here, like, you don't think it came up and, oh yeah, and we're gonna have a football team playing in the building. And it's almost just a throw-in fuck. You know what I mean? Part of the negotiation. Like, he's got a lot of other little angles he could play. Also, another thing is you have to give Vince credit where this is much more seriously run than the first incarnation of the XFL. The first time he didn't really have football people. He just sort of knocked it off and did it fast. You know what I mean? Like, he really didn't he didn't. This is different. Like, you got to give him credit for this. Like, it shows the strength of a businessman. He's like, I'm not rushing it. You know, it's 2 years. I'm going to build it up. And you look at the people that he's hired. Like, he's got Bob Stoops as a coach. Oliver Luck, Andrew Luck's father, is the fucking is the commissioner of the league. And it's not just always Andrew Luck's father. Oliver Luck was the athletic director of Stanford. He was the athletic director of West Virginia. He was a quarterback in the NFL. He's like a very successful like commissioner / businessman. So like, it's not like Oliver Luck is a clown. So he's a smart guy and he's running the league. But overall, it's like hockey in Canada. There's no real room. There's no real room for like, you know what I mean? People will watch a bit on TV. People will watch a bit on TV, but it's hard to really get real traction with this. You know, it really is. There's, you know, people are already invested. You have a New York team here. There's already the Giants and the fucking Jets. Like, is there really a fucking room for like, oh yeah, let's go for fucking go Hitman, you know? (27-16) for the Texas Longhorns. There's a great video. I'm sure you saw it. It's a lady in Toronto. The other day, there was a foul ball. And to say that she wasn't fazed would be an understatement. So she didn't fucking flinch.
That one back into the square away.
Look, she doesn't flinch. So this is her tonight. This is her. This is her over the weekend. That's her over the weekend there. Most people panic. Oh my God. Hey, look. Oh. But look at her tonight. Ball comes. I got to tell you, man. Imagine this lady is like your grandmother, man. You know, she's hardcore, fuck. She's the star of the Toronto Blue Jays so far this year. Like literally and figuratively. Like she like it's ultra viral. Like this is on ESPN. It's fucking everywhere. Like even this video alone has 544,000 hits, and this is just one of them. Yeah, this lady is the fucking star. she's the star of the Toronto Blue Jays so far this year. She might be the star of Major League Baseball actually so far this year. Yeah. I don't even remember her name on the Facts of Life. Her name was Charlotte Rae in real life. That's it. Charlotte Rae. Charlotte Rae. Oh, she was Mrs. Garrett. She was Mrs. Garrett. That's it. Well, here's Jeff Feinberg stepping up and in. What's going on, Jeff?
What's up, Gabe?
Stepping in from outside.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, good.
You're in full winter mode.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's cold. It got nice here for a few days, and then all of a sudden it's really cold again.
Yeah, I know. The spring just won't come. I was saying, I tell you what, man. WrestleMania is only a couple of days away, and it's not the type of weather that I'd want to be sitting outside for fucking 7 hours watching wrestling in. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Listen, Gabe, there's a lot of really experienced wrestling folk that are coming to New York for the week, but they're getting the hell out of that. Like, they're not going to Mania.
Yeah, it's like the Super Bowl.
Yeah. People, I've heard some horror stories about when it was there a few years ago getting home, how long it took to get out of that building.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, people know, and it's just a long night. Like, the show is so long. As great as
I'll tell you what, dude. I went to the Giants and Eagles on a Thursday night. And I'm always at the Meadowlands, but it's different for the sports book. Like, you know, when you're going there in the summer for racetrack, there's nothing there besides a bunch of old men, right? Like fucking. But so for like game day, I left from like Manhattan Penn Station, and I went to the football game. And I knew it would be like an adventure, bro. Like, you know, I didn't think like, oh yeah, it's just, you know, I knew it would sort of be, but it took us fucking. It took us like 3 hours, man. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, we fucking left at fucking 5 o'clock. The game was at 8. Figure, all right, we'll leave at 5. go to the sports book, have a couple of drinks. I remember running into the sports book at like 8:13 with kickoff like 2 minutes away to get the bets in. Like I missed the first 10 minutes of the fucking football game, and I left at 5 o'clock. Like,
Yeah.
I heard stories about the Super Bowl. Darsh was at the Super Bowl. I heard stories about the Super Bowl, same shit. People missed the first quarter. People like took fucking 3 hours to get out of there after and shit. It's a fucking disaster. It really is. And like you said, I guess there's it's a big deal. There's the first ever wrestling show at Madison Square Garden since like fucking 1960 or something.
Yeah, it's a big. I think
Not
it's
the WWE or Vince McMahon or McMahon's father.
yeah. Ring of Honor and New Japan are doing a super show apparently there, Gabe. And yeah, for years, Madison Square Garden wouldn't even let a second-rate somebody book it, but Vince McMahon and the WWE haven't really run Madison Square Garden that much. They've sort of fallen in love with the new kid on the block at the Barclays. That's sort of hosted like the Summer Slams and a lot of the big events there. So I guess MSG was just like, fuck you guys. Like, we're gonna allow
the Saturday show. Like you said, the Barclays Center's come on. The Saturday show, that one at MSG is a big, there's a lot of hype about it in the wrestling show. I was reading today, there's actually 50 wrestling events starting tomorrow here.
Yeah, yes, 50. Everything. Okay, Gabe, I even heard
50.
Gabe, I heard at one of these like lower tier indie show. Hear me out for a second. There's a match between two invisible men. As in, like, the crowd's just going to be cheering and making chants, and they're going to, like, enter people. Like, literally, they'll be ring announced, and the bell will ring, and nothing is going to happen. Okay?
That's performance art.
Yeah,
That's the crowd really taking over. That's the crowd
I was
the show.
I was amazed when I saw you tweet the other day that you hadn't really seen the rest of the trucks pull in yet. I would think that's like a 2.5 week. Gabe, I was in fucking Phoenix a month after that golf tournament that was on Super Bowl Sunday, the big crazy rowdy drunk one. And they, I didn't get to play the course, but I drove by it on the highway kind of, and they were still taking down the fucking bleachers and like set up. So I can't believe it must be a fucking 24-hour round the clock, like 6-day job that they put in there now.
Well, even more so, dude. Like,
because I thought they'd been in there 2 weeks ago. They're
there now. I must have just beaten them or something because I was there Monday afternoon, and there wasn't a fucking truck, a car, or a fucking golf cart in sight, bro. There was nothing. Like, you would not have known a WrestleMania is there. And I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, damn, because I can see it, and I check that shit out. I'm in the fucking. So I always look at that shit. And the thing is, when you go to the book on the bus too, you pass through, like, you really get in close to the stadium where you can't go on a road, and you can always see like CBS. Problem with Feinberg here.
No, yeah, I'm right back. So.
There you go. Yeah,
you can always see the network trucks.
Yeah, you can always see them set up, and they're usually there. Like when they played on Thursday Night Football, they were there Monday and Tuesday type shit. Now, the setting up the stage and everything, and everything for WrestleMania, that'll definitely take like 48 hours, 72 hours. Don't forget, they need to do. I'm going to be there Saturday night. I'm not going to go to WrestleMania, but I'll be there Saturday night at the sports book. And I can almost bet money that Saturday night they'll fucking do a rehearsal, a run for
Gabe, 100 freaking %.
Yeah. So like I'll be in the parking lot, bro.
Seen the behind the scenes,
they need to know. They can't just the lights don't work. Like, oh no, they need to know this ain't gonna reflect off of that, and we have a problem here. Like, you know the drill. They have to go through a run through.
My favorite part of like owning the WWE network, like paying my $10 a month, is the behind the scenes stuff and like the documentaries that they do on the behind the scenes of the WrestleManias each year. They'll be there till 3-4 in the morning. They'll be there till 3, 4 in the morning. They'll be doing the entrances. They'll be behind schedule. They'll be there all night. Like, it will be fully set up. And one of my favorite things about WrestleMania, of the modern WrestleMania, I'll interrupt my first point by saying I love how WrestleMania still does logos that the Super Bowl doesn't. You know, they get the city theme and they do a logo. I love it. But the set and stage reveal that the WWE does is one of my, I look forward to that as much as everything.
Well,
Like, yes,
they are. Honest, that's the only reason I was going to go.
Yeah, it's really the spectacle
I don't go to rock concerts too much anymore at all. Sometimes in smaller bars or in a club, I'll see a metal band, but I don't really see big events. And this at MetLife Stadium, it's the second biggest stadium in America. Fuck, it's second biggest stadium after the the Cowboys and the LA Memorial, the old stadium, but new stadiums. And it's a modern stadium, so they can do whatever the fuck they want to do with the lights and everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a monster spectacle. Yes. Fuck, that's what I wanted to see. Just sit there and go, holy fuck! Like, look at that rig, fucking, that they put together here.
Gabe, I don't doubt, and I know you were sort of going through the numbers, and it is amazingly true. I did see that the Saudi Arabia shows are their highest money earners, and I guess there's a certain reason for that. They just get paid like a gazillion dollars. But in terms of making, I mean, I don't doubt that the tickets and
ringside in Saudi Arabia is probably like $15,000, bro, or something,
And I don't doubt that they're making hand over fist this week in New York. But they put a lot back. The operating cost of this week for them, like, they don't fucking do anything of that isn't like first, like A+++. They go balls to the wall. They don't like cut corners anywhere. They might cut corners all year at the fucking house shows and on Raw, and you don't see an ounce of pyro or anything like that. But I don't think anymore they cut it. Like, at the big show at WrestleMania, they don't cut a single corner.
No, it's the Super Bowl, the Daytona 500, and fucking Metallica rolled into one. Fuck, essentially.
Right? Yeah, and I don't know. Is like I think I'd want to go. Like, if I were you, like, I'd be back and forth. Like, do I want it? Because I love it, but like, I don't know. It's a lot. And I know you just want to be at home.
The problem is, there's a couple of things. Number one, I'm getting fucking overly fucking ambushed with this shit. Number two, it's literally 11 minutes away in an Uber from me. You know what I mean? So if I don't go now, I'll never go. But I want to see the spectacle. I've never been to a WrestleMania. I haven't been to a wrestling event in fucking years. I don't think I've been to a wrestling event since the Billy Gunn days. When I had my issues with him. Fucking, it's been years. I'm into the spectacle of it. I'm into living and having a good time. I'm not getting any younger. Figure out, I'll see if WrestleMania.
Oh, jeez.
But the negatives of it are, it's fucking expensive. More like, it went up. Like a month ago, it was like $130 or something. And I was like, yeah, I can live with it. You know what I mean? But now it's like 180 fuck on StubHub. And 180 on StubHub equals fucking 230 and shit, bro. There's fucking fees and tax and blah, blah, blah. I'm not into it enough to drop $250. Plus, you know me, I'm not going there sober, fuck. So that's more money fucking that I'm gonna fucking drop. Yeah. Getting shit for WrestleMania.
It's like a 7-hour. It's like a 6-hour show, man.
That's another thing that
someone made the joke. It's
I wouldn't stay for it all. And the worst part is, though, dude, and I watched Monday Night Raw, and I even put it on fucking SmackDown tonight. The storylines, there's nothing gets me. Like, there's not one like, man, I got to go pay tribute to this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, fuck, look, fucking, like, they're all dead, fuck. Like, I don't like anybody. like, there's not one, like, Kurt Angle's last match. All right. Like, and to be honest, I'm really not, I'm all for women wrestling and I'm all for women headlining and shit, but I'm not into this Ronda Rousey man fucking shit. And There's not one storyline that made me say, oh, you know what, I want to go see this. Fuck, you know?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people haven't been thrilled with the build, but yeah, the brand WrestleMania, I guess, sells itself. I'm not totally surprised. What's the weather supposed to be like? I guess that's shame, right?
Like, that's why, listen, we get to the $100 range. Listen, I would prefer, I'm going to speak to my boy Lerner, he's actually a mark, and he goes to these indie house shows like almost every week in Jersey and all that. And there's a million of them this week. So maybe I'll just find out what the cool one is. I'll just go get shit-faced on Friday or Saturday. And that's another thing. I got to do a show fucking Monday morning.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking for you. You're like up at you're like live by 9, right? 8,
Yeah.
8,
I got to get up at like 6:30 and shit. I don't like being hungover. I only do it under extenuating circumstances. And WrestleMania is not really it. Look, the Raptors are here tomorrow. I'm not even doing it, especially because I'm in preparation for it. Where the springtime's my favorite. Next to late September, this is my favorite time, and I'm sure it might be yours because of the Masters and stuff. But like for me, like for gambling and just sort of having fun, I love like the NBA, NHL playoffs time of year.
Yeah.
There's like fucking 4 to 6 games on every night. They're all important. You get the zigzag theories. You got series bets, series plays, zigzag back and forth totals. And next to the NFL, this is when I do my most gambling. Like now I'm just sort of recreationally fucking around. I don't really care. Small bets and shit. But like once the NBA playoffs start, man, I'm going to start dropping. That's when the 200 a game, and then it'll start to 500 a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll be a night I'll be watching a Denver Nugget playoff game, Jeff, needing my left nut. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I mean, listen, I've sort of grown out of love with hockey, but the playoffs are the fucking best. There's something about the NHL playoffs, even the first round. I love it. Love it.
Yeah, like the games, like it's hard to watch a whole regular season NHL game. I haven't done it. Like I did it. I've done it when I was in Canada, over the holidays. There's a few times, the hockey was on and whatever. I got through the game, but it's tough to do. But in the playoffs, it goes by fast. Like you're like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? Like it's just 2 hours, 20 minutes, bam, intense fucking shit. And then you got the Masters next week. So what's your deal for the golf this week? It's sort of the calm before the storm, right? You just got to sort of sprinkle before the Masters.
Yeah, my exposure is going to be down because it is the Masters this week. And I'll be honest, normally this time, Gabe, like I've been making Masters bets like, even into football season. But this year I never could sort of find a good vibe. And as the tournament's gotten closer, I'll say this to you, I'll say this to your listeners. I think the books are going to try to be everyone's friend next week. I think they'll be competing for our business. There's so many top players in the world playing so well. It's kind of really hard. I don't know how you see it as sort of like an outsider insider, like you follow
I haven't capped the Masters at all, but I know
like you just noticed like all these.
I know who I'm going with already.
Who you're going with?
Yeah, Justin Rose.
Yep, that's a solid listen. If someone's
that's
like
my guy, I'm going back to the well. Like you said, I think it's gonna be one of the big guys that wins it, and that's the guy I trust going into.
Well, they're all playing well, and that's a great bet in the sense of you're not even going to watch it till Sunday. But when you turn it on Sunday, Justin Rose will. I don't know if he's going to win it, but his name will be on that first page, and that's sort of like it's Sunday, and this is when you're finally watching.
I like he's got ice in his veins. This guy, I like this guy.
Yep.
I know he's kind of bland. I saw him when he's pimping Morgan Stanley. Fucking like.
Yeah, I've been making jokes. He sort of looks like a NASCAR driver these days. He's like just fucking a whole billboard out there. May as well wear a racing suit. But yeah, no, I can't argue. I can't argue with that pick at all. I've made one Masters bet so far, so I guess I'll share it. Hideki Matsuyama, 40-1. Again, it's hard to trust him, I know, in the big one. He sort of ranks off the charts in every metric you can imagine, except for putting. That's how you win these big things. But I don't know. I think at 40-1, I feel like I've bet him at a much shorter number here many times in the past. So, and his game's really been on point. So that's sort of who I'm looking at this week. But before we get there, yeah, they're in. I want to say it's San Antonio area at the Valero.
The calm before the storm, the Valero. I'm just seeing right now, sorry, like, holy shit, did Russell Westbrook really fucking get a triple fucking double-double? No, he didn't.
What does that mean, a triple double-double? A triple-double?
All right, so, Westbrook, like, holy motherfuck. More than 20 points, 20 assists, and 20 rebounds.
That's fucking insane. I didn't even know. You literally said what you said, like the triple double double. I never even heard of it. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Like the triple, I know. Like the triple double, you know what I mean? Like, like it's a big deal to get a double double. Oh, he had fucking double, 12 rebounds and 14 points. And you got your triple double. Your double digit points, double digit rebounds, double digit assists. But he did a triple double. 20, 20, 20. How many fucking fantasy points did this motherfucker get? That's some serious fucking
I've never heard of that before. Like, is that a historic night? Like, I'm not the biggest NBA fan, but I certainly know the terminology.
You know what? In the old day, Will Chamberlain used to do this shit all the time. Oh, no, he's short. He didn't get it. No, he did. He did. All right. It just refreshed. Yeah, so you got 20 points, 20 rebounds, and 21 assists. Holy fuck. Some serious fucking status right there. All right. Yeah, as I stated, that's what I thought it'd be Will Chamberlain. Russell Westbrook is the first player to do this since Will Chamberlain. Second player in NBA history only. Yeah. It's only the second time it's ever happened. And I didn't fucking see it. I've been watching this stupid NIT game. Fuck. That's some serious fucking Westbrook's the man. I'm blown away by that too. Like, holy fuck. Like, I don't even I'm trying to think, Jeff, like a comparison of like a sport. Like, it's like rushing for like fucking 600 yards or something. It's like rushing for like 450 yards in an NFL.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what it would be like? It'd be like hitting like 3 jacks, stealing like 3 bases, like gunning a guy.
You know what I'd say almost? It's like hitting 3 grand slams almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
3 grand slams, and you fucking had 4 stolen bases, and you threw out yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you like gunned a guy out at the plate like twice on sack flies or something, like ridiculous. Like, I don't even know how to
there is really. Like I said, it's it's hard to compare. I'm just glad it's him and not LeBron. Like, did this. Is LeBron is such a fucking stat guy that, that's fucking insane. Wow. 20. First time in 51 fucking years.
Well, let me ask you, did they win?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Even better.
Yeah. It loses all of its luster. Yeah. And they covered. It's crazy. They only scored 119 points. Fuck. Right. He was involved in all of them.
Pretty much.
Like, in a weird way, 20 points, 20. So look, that's 40. It's basically like fucking 75% of their offense tonight involved in it, like one way or the other. Yeah, well, that's good for him. Westbrook's a good guy. He doesn't get the credit he deserves. It's hard to win a title in the NBA. It's hard to win when you're in Oklahoma City. It's not like fucking players are lining up to be the dream team there. He could have split. He never has. So, yeah, we got San Diego in the house. We got Paco Healy and Chris Edge both here with us. And sad news, Jeff, as San Diego loses their second fucking football team. Down go the San Diego Fleet. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, geez. It seemed like they had a decent product. I mean, just the league in general. I'm not totally shocked, but I thought that they were doing better than that.
You know, too, that there's some, like, poor, not a lot, but you know there was a couple of people that were, like, all on board. All right, well, there's a new team. I'm going to support it. Fucking, there they go, and it's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I guarantee the games, the hats and shirts are still like $30-$40.
Well, now suddenly they're going to become. Now suddenly I saw on Twitter everybody wants AF gear now.
Great,
because it's going to be extinct.
Well, I'm sure they're happy.
I don't even know if you can buy it. How can you buy it? Like the league, like who's going to sell it to you? Like their doors are closed. Fuck. Like they can't.
When I was in Arizona, I saw in the mall that like there was a store selling that was a Rattles, the Tempe or something.
The Hot Shots.
Yeah. Did you see Steve Spurrier? He says give them the title. They did the best record by like 2 games. He like wants them to be
what do you think?
champions.
Cam says he'd give him the title. Yeah, Spurrier says, "Hey, we're 7-1. Everyone else is 5-3. We should be deemed champions in this league." They lost Arizona. If he was 8-0, I'd have a stronger argument. If they were 8-0, you could say, listen, they never lost the fucking game. They're the best team. Give them the damn fucking trophy. Did you guys make a trophy yet? Give it to them. Well, basically, Spurrier, Spurrier's a good guy. He basically stated, too, that he said, I didn't do this to further my career. I like his honesty. He said, I didn't do this to further my career. He said, I did this because I love coaching. And he goes, I wanted to help some good kids try to get to the NFL. And he said, the least you could do is give these guys fucking rings. So, like, he's trying to get rings made for them, essentially, on the way out here. But it ain't going to happen.
I just hope they can get their last check.
I don't think that's going to happen either. I saw Johnny Manziel tweeting about that. Manziel said to people, not bother suing, not worth suing them. It's just going to cost you money. Say your prayers and move on. You know what I mean? That's what Manziel tweeted. Manziel's exact words were, the next check you get from this league will be the last one you got.
Well, sorry. So is this a good thing or a bad thing for the XFL?
It's a great thing for the XFL. Vince just
because they're like Vince can survive like the cash flow.
No, it's less. It's annoying. There's not a lot of room here for all these leagues. The alliance is out of the way. They seem to have done it well. Fucking about 150 players now to scout from and take.
I guess. I just meant like if that league like couldn't even finish a season, like
I know. I listen.
And they had some legitimate support. Well,
not as much as Vince has, though. Vince is like a fucking billionaire. They're not. And, obviously they didn't have support. Otherwise, they would be bankrupt now after 8 weeks.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like, they visually had a good product. I didn't watch enough to really tell you if it was good or not, but visually it looked good. And
the production was good. Visually it was good. It wasn't terrible. The football was kind of boring. It wasn't, it was very defensive. It was sloppy offensively. But it was the first year. I mean, it had potential.
It almost seems like, Gabe, they're like one of these you like create a program just hoping to be bought up by like Microsoft or
That's
IBM
exactly what I said earlier. They're like a startup company that thought to be saved right away.
that thought the NFL would come in, give them like, give them, spring practice roster guys.
Yeah, but Bill Polian, that was Bill Polian's idea, and he was right. But the thing is,
The league had to sort of earn its
not in
stripes.
year one. I don't want, you're not going to start sending guys to Birmingham, Alabama, unless you know what kind of league. What are you guys running? What's going on here? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, of course.
The trainer situation. What happens if our guy, like, basically, even the NFL wasn't opposed to it, but they said slow
Like
down.
insurance, like who's going to
Polian
pay?
told them 3 years. Polian told Ebersol and these guys basically, listen, if we're a stable league for 3 years, the NFL will come on board. But
And he probably was right. He probably was right, I would think. No? Maybe even just 2 years, but yeah.
the Players Association was against it too. You figure they would have been for it. Like, the players that would have been in the league would have been for it, but the Players Association are like, basically, you're making players work in the off season, essentially. That's the way they look at it.
Yeah.
What happens if they get hurt? Who's paying? What kind of fucking medical attention are they going to get there? What happens if a player gets fucking hurt playing for Birmingham Iron? Does he get cut from the Bills because he's hurt after?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of questions, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions that they didn't have answers to. They did, like you said, they just went in there with their hands out. Hey, please save. Let's become partners. Come on, you're dealing with Roger Goodell. He's a lot of things, but he's not dumb. Fuck. Look, Goodell doesn't like these side projects. He doesn't like working with outside people.
No, but you're right. The NFL wasn't like totally against it though. Like they gave it time on their network. Like they gave it a platform. Like, okay, here, we'll give you a chance. Like, yeah, I think you're banging on. You got to live for 3 years, and then we'll fucking. If you're alive, we can evaluate whether we can join you. But
no, exactly. With credible coaches.
Because I'm sure the whole thing in the NFL owners' rooms were like, these guys don't have the money to survive fucking. Maybe they knew more than me. They don't have 3, 5, 4 years in them to pass this test. Well, let's see if they can.
Well, exactly. Let's see. And also, look, it was such a joke at one point that the Orlando team had to practice in fucking Georgia because workers' comp. They didn't have the money for workers' comp, and the laws in Florida are tough, and they're not in Georgia. You think an NFL team's having their fucking players fucking bust to fucking Georgia to practice because of worker comp laws? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there were some flaws here. They should have thought about a lot of stuff. But all right, so who's your guy that you pulled the trigger on the Masters?
It was Hideki Matsuyama at 40 to 1.
All right, Hideki.
But that's not. I mean, I'll have some other bets, but I don't know. It's hard, Gabe. I don't know who to pick from at that top of the card there. I don't know.
For me, what I like about the Masters is always, I like these, like to make the cut parlays and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, that's a good one. The Masters is the one to really make it at, Gabe, because the field is small and you have all those guys.
This is going to be the smallest field ever, actually, at the Masters.
Yeah, and then you have all those guys who have, they really have no chance. Your Woosnams, your Mises, your Weirs, So the field really does. It really is a small field. It doesn't take your percentage to make the cut is probably over 70%.
Here's the meltdown. I already lost the bet earlier tonight where we got outscored 12-0 to end the game. Texas were up by like 17 points. Suddenly it's 8. I can just see this shit happening.
TCU or Texas TCU, right?
Yeah,
is that NIT? What is that?
Yeah, NIT at MSG. Yeah. Rory McIlroy. Ridiculous to me that he's plus 650.
Oh, we're talking the Masters.
Yeah. Fuck the Valero. I'm just saying. I'm just quick look ahead here. Every year it's the same thing. He's like the Dustin Johnson with this. I remember our boy Dan Daly picks him every year. Even people get suckered in and believe that Rory's going to win the Masters every year. But those odds are ridiculous, dude. 650.
Yeah, 650, and there'll be a lot of pressure, right? Because the big win, and he's playing great. I would argue the pressure will be his highest since his first attempt at the Grand Slam. So he'll be in the pressure cooker. He's admitted that while he doesn't, you'll never really feel comfortable with that kind of pressure. He's much more comfortable in knowing what to expect. So we'll see. He always seems to play well there. He went off in the final group last year with Patrick Reed, and his game is in all the right places. But yeah, plus 650. When you have so many of the top players in the world playing as well as they are playing, I can't do it.
I was hoping for a little bit better than 14 with Rose. I guess I really couldn't. I was thinking maybe 16, 18.
Yeah. I think you might get those numbers next week, Gabe.
Yeah. Depending on the book too. I'm looking at Bet365 right now. I'll take a look at that's a British book, so maybe they're skewed too, right?
Yeah, I just think next week we might just get a little bump across the board. Outside of it'll be really hard for something to really change too. Like Ricky Fowler's the best player playing at the Valero, which is a little strange. Him, Tony Finau, Matt Kuchar, George Spieth. So I guess Spieth has a great week.
What about Lucas Glover this week?
I don't mind Lucas. His game has been really strong. For me in that range, I've bet Ben An and Abraham Answer are the shortest number bets that I have this week. I also like the Chinaman. Haotong Li from China. Dylan Fratelli. So I had one more pick. It's a bit of a smaller card for me this week.
You fucking Morty Seinfeld. I know a Chinaman down the street. You got to sell for a hell of a lot cheaper than that. It's like Mr. Seinfeld Morty. It's Asian American. I know you're saying he's from China, so like.
Oh fuck!
Young man.
He's from Korea. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's too good. All right. And no offense to anybody. It wasn't. I don't think it was meant that way. It's just the way it came out.
No, listen. The kid is fire. I would argue with his resume, his current form, how weak the field is. I think this is a really good number for Haotong Li. He's won some good tournaments over in Europe. He's a really, really quality player. Yeah, I think he's due for a big PGA win. This is the sort of event, Gabe, where a lot of guys sort of get their breakthrough win here because you don't see a lot of guys playing, as you could probably tell by looking at the odds board.
Yeah.
So this is sort of the site where a lot of guys, like, consistently, it feels like a first timer, first time PGA win. So I guess no coincidence. I like to bet guys that don't win a lot anyway. So my card's sort of filled with guys who could have that breakthrough PGA W.
See, Luke List is 50-1, pretty fat.
Yeah. Odds. I like Luke List again, Gabe. He's never won, but his talent to me is off the charts. I thought the line would be shorter than 50. I really do like Luke List. If he hits his 6-footers this week, it could be a good one. It's always a question with him, though.
Yeah, if I was going to play, those are sort of like Lucas Glover 30-1, Luke List 50-1. Those are two guys that sort of jump off, catch my eye.
Those are pretty strong.
Yeah, those are the two that catch my eye. But I look forward to this Masters next week. I look forward to breaking it down with you. I know you and Mayo will be all over this stuff.
We'll be. That show should probably be out Sunday night, Gabe.
Are you going to record it on the weekend?
Yeah, we're going to record something early on Sunday. Early enough so I'll get home to be able to watch WrestleMania comfort and at home, of course.
That's It's one thing about golf, with the exception of Dustin Johnson, as long as he doesn't fall down the fucking stairs, that you guys can do that on a Sunday, right? I hate. I've always hated recording things too far in advance. You know.
We would listen. We'll be in a kind of a bad spot, like. You know, because like look at the field. Like, how many of those guys are even in the Masters field? Not a ton. But like, let's say Ricky Fowler came back from like a 5-stroke deficit or blew a 5-stroke deficit. You know, that will leave us feeling like kind of naked, maybe. But I don't think a lot is really going to change in the Masters odds. I mean, even if Ricky wins, how much lower could he get?
Yeah,
Ricky and Finau, you know, Finau people would probably be really excited about to see him win. But in terms of talking about betting and who's going to win the Masters, you know, like last year, the Valero came down to Andrew Landry and Trey Mullinax. So, you know, that doesn't change it. Yeah, that's not going to alter the conversation we'll have. But yeah, it's always possible. And again, you know, there could be like TMZ or some outlet like holding on to a Phil or Tiger or high profile story to drop it, like, right, to like you wake up Monday and there's some like bombshell, I don't know, you know, this PJ player was at that, you know, Orchids of Asia or whatever, who knows. So yeah, you know, it's possible, but the content lives for such a short period, you know, when it expires on Thursday, and I guess, you know, Mayo loves that shit. So he's smart enough to know, like, people, like, the first thing they look on Monday, search Masters, like, it should.
Oh, yeah, no, Mayo, that's one thing Mayo as well. Mayo's a smart guy when it comes to golf, obviously. Great fantasy analyst. But,
yeah, his money maker is his ability to just fucking pound his shit out there and the timing of
there. He's very good. He's very good social media, right? SEO and all that crap and fucking
yeah.
Listen, I don't know here. You can see this actually. You can see the Google thing. Let's see here. What do you think?
Oh, okay. At this point, I like it, but then if you turn it around, Gabe, it's fucking gross. Like right here on this angle, like I could handle it. I tweeted like that with the gif of that like Chris Farley like looking confused, like what the fuck's going on here? The back, if you could see on the left hand side, it's navy, like at the top there. You see where it's baby blue on this side? On the other side, it's navy, and like it's both colors at the back. They tried way too hard with these draft hats. It's just sort of my conclusion. No.
So what? They're representing the state. I want to see the.
I don't mind the Bills one, to be honest, but it just seemed like they were They tried way too fucking hard. Oh, this guy ranked them. Jeez, people got fucking time.
Yeah. Welcome to the off season.
And the Jets have a uniform coming out on Thursday that people are really excited about, Gabe.
Who, the Jets?
Yeah, they didn't release their draft hat because it's coming out Thursday with their new uniform.
Where did you see the fucking back of it, though?
On the like the Chargers.com Twitter, like sent out yeah.
Okay, all right. Looking at different so I guess each one has the state, like it's supposed to represent the state that the team plays in somehow.
Yeah, somehow. I don't know. I don't really know.
This Dolphin hat's all right though, if you like the Dolphins.
Yeah, it looks like every other Dolphin hat. I don't know.
I prefer the mesh in the back. I like the old school ones better.
The ones that I kind of remember liking, I thought the Bears one was kind of cool. Because you know the state flag in Chicago.
There it is. So this one makes sense because that's their flag here, the rising sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of stars around it. This, look, I don't know what the hell this is. It's the same thing. There's nothing there.
Look at the Carolina one. It's like a game clock. It's like it's just like the state flag with a Panther logo.
The Buffalo one's not bad. Oh, yeah. This one just screams fucking America. You know what I mean? Like the stars, the fucking.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
It's I wouldn't buy it.
this one here. Yeah, look, it's like North Carolina.
Yeah, it's the state flag essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is sort of works on the Bears with the stars.
Yeah, and it's just like plain enough and cool. The other ones, like, that seem like they're trying way too hard to pull something off.
This one's all right. This one looks retro.
Yeah.
I don't mind the look of this one. This one, like, I look at this hat and I think it would be cool. I'd be like, yeah, that's a cool hat if you took those stupid white stars off it. Like, I don't really get the point of the white stars there. The Cowboys, I don't know, like it looks like every other cowboy hat.
Yeah, I think they're trying to do that like state the state flag thing. I don't know.
This you can sort of see the mountains and the Colorado shit here.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
I don't know. They're basically just fucking hats with a few of them with stars on them. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I think they're all, and the majority of them are. The majority of them are pretty ugly.
Yeah, like this is pretty tacky.
Majority of them are pretty ugly hats.
What about this one, the KC one?
I have no idea what that's supposed to mean, man. I'm sure someone out there is like, you idiots.
I gotta say, it looks modern though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like some art. Yeah, some like art installation.
It's basically like, yeah, like just imagine Lamar Hunt, being shown this, or Lamar Hunt Jr., whatever. Now the old guy, and they show it, and he's like, what the fuck is this? The fuck are these fucking, and they're like, sir, trust us. This is like the hottest designers out of college, sir, told us that. But it's basically, what are they going to do, dude? They've sold this hat 1 million times for the last 50 years. So they just, I don't know, put some black lines on it, fuck.
Yeah, exactly. They've sold the fucking same hat. Same hat.
There's the Rams one, kind of lame. I like the Dolphins one. I'm not a Dolphin fan, but I'm a fan. You got the Dolphin, you got the palm tree. I like it.
Simple.
This one, fuck the Patriots. Look, they go with Foxborough. That's interesting.
Yeah, I got no idea what they're up to.
This one is the fucking Saints logo, but times 3.
Well, I guess, yeah, the fleur-de-lis probably all over the flag of. So are the Giants representing New Jersey or New York?
I don't know what this is here.
It's probably some trim that's on like a flag, and like,
it makes me though. I tell you, it makes me fucking. The initial look when I saw this, I'm like, man, it looks like an Expo hat.
Yeah.
I like this because of the Expo-ness of it. If you're thinking color coordination too, you could wear this with an Expo jersey. The Raiders, they just put the American flag on it. Like, how's this the state? That's the American flag. Like,
well, I guess they want to sell some in Vegas too.
That's a good point. You know what? They don't have a state. They're in between, so they're like, just put a U.S. flag on it. People will like this. It's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
That worked out well, actually, the fucking state shit. They just went checkered. Fuck, this is pretty fucking ghetto, to be honest.
You know, that's just the state flag, except instead of the bear, isn't like the California flag, like it's the bear with
yeah, but there should be green on it too. Then make it for real. Fuck, you know what I mean? Instead, you know what I mean? Or just put the fucking bear on it too. It'd be cooler, you know?
Yeah.
You know, you think of San Francisco, Northern California, you fucking bear. You know what I mean? It'd be cool.
Like that, it's almost like the Seahawks have had that hat for 6 fucking years. That they've
this is like
well, you couldn't buy that in the team.
This?
You couldn't buy that in the team store. Like,
why does it say number 12? Oh, it's the 12th man.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I feel like they've sold
Yeah,
that
the
hat.
12th, like fucking, like,
I feel like that hat's been in their gift shop for 5
I'm just
fucking
saying the
years.
12th man too. You're giving it. This is what the rookies are going to wear on the stage. So what do you give him a 12th man for? Give him a number with a hat, and number his number on it, fuck. Or the number draft pick, number 1. Fuck. I think the Bucks should go back to the old orange shit. Lame. I don't. You know what I don't like, Jeff? Is fucking look at that. I don't like this blue trim here.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, just make it powder blue, baby blue to the bottom. And look, San Francisco did the same thing. Like, it should just be white to the brim here. Like, why, dude? Like, I'm not a designer, and even I'm like, why did you do that? Fuck, like, I hate that. This looks like a Redskin hat. This is all right. The stars, because it's presidential and shit.
Mm-hmm.
That works. And there's the hat review.
I think 80% of them fucking sucked.
And this is coming from an NFL merchandise mark. You are.
Yeah, this is a guy that like wants to buy it.
You
Like,
want to
make it
buy.
happy.
You want to buy the new Charger hat, but you can't.
Yeah, yeah. No, Gabe, you're 100% right. I only have to like it a little bit to want to buy it. I don't even have to like it a lot. But no. I mean, obviously, this is also the first year, Gabe. Normally, like, everyone has the exact same, like, design. So just sort of, I don't know. I just feel like they tried a little too hard with some of them.
You know what I saw that's funny, actually? Speaking of hats. So what, the first weed place in the first weed place in Toronto, the first store that's open officially, well, there's stores before, but you know what I mean, is actually where the New Era store was, right?
Oh, is that where it is? Okay, yeah.
Because I saw it on Twitter, and I saw they were like, "Oh, this new pot store opened officially in Toronto, first of many, the first one that opened, blah blah." And there's big lines, and I was like, man, it was hard for me to tell because I could only really see like the wall and the door and shit, but I knew it. But I was racking my brain like.
That's a huge space. That's a huge fucking. You got to sell a lot of weed to fucking pay that rent, man.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. Supposedly, it's known as the weed superstore, so to speak. It's like the big one. Because it's like 3 floors or something. Like it's pretty big complex. Lot of square footage in there. So I don't know.
Prime location too.
Are they opening up all over the city now, or is that just the one?
Yeah, not really. Apparently, most of the people that won the rights to open it, it's been pretty slow. But I don't know, Gabe. Sort of like you. Like, I laugh at these people. Like, I've never had any problems getting good.
Yeah, I know. It's almost like people legalized it. People don't even want to go. Like, they took so long to get it going, people went back to the market. Like,
I'm also like you. I think I'm like you. Like, I've never been that guy. Like, not really my style to like walk in the crowded street like smoking a joint. Like, even now that it's legal, like I'll still go into that alley and like puff it. Like,
oh no, I will. Look, if you remember, look, when you were there outside the Wild Wing.
Oh yeah.
We were blazing right on the street. There was once, I don't know if you noticed, but 2 cops walked right past us.
Yeah, no, that was a little okay, yeah.
And at first you're so used to it, right? Like even me, I looked up, I was like, oh shit, fuck, 2 cops are right there. Fucking then I realized I'm like, well, it's fucking legal, fuck. Like, dude, it changed everything, man. I lived when I was in Nevada, fuck, in the early days, man. It was like, man, I wouldn't smoke anywhere. I wouldn't even bring weed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd be paranoid as fuck. You need a state trooper fucking flapper him, fucking ruining your life over fucking.
Exactly. And I sort of got looser when I was there. I sort of knew, okay, this street.
Like, you're from fucking Montreal, where you just fucking like, even when it wasn't legal in Canada.
Exactly.
Never
you smoke
unless
everywhere.
you literally the only way you'd like actually get in trouble is if you were like distributing.
No,
like,
exactly.
If you had
like job and smoking outside of bars casually like it's a cigarette for years, and forever, fuck, since I was a kid. But it's totally changed in Vegas. Like the culture. Like I remember before, I would never stand. I stood on the steps of this. You've been to the Westgate, the Superbook.
Yeah, yeah, of
I
course.
stood on the steps, literally blazing, like right there, all drunk. Like before, I'd be like, all right, let's go into the car in the parking lot. We better go in this little corner and be real fast. And like, we'll watch out for the security on the yellow and their bicycle. And I remember even before it was fully the stores everywhere started, man, me and T-Bone were like, fuck it, it's fucking going to be legal and whatever. And now, like you said, now it's just a free-for-all. Fuck, I was blazing right on Fremont Street and shit. I don't blow it in the cop's face, but yeah, the culture's fucking changed.
Everywhere. Everywhere, except the NFL, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. That's the one thing I miss about Canada, though. Like, that's that's the one thing I like about Canada. You can just walk down the street. You don't have to worry at all, like about any. You know, you don't have to worry about anything. You know.
But like, I don't know, like you go to the book, like the FanDuel books or anything like that. It's you gotta like you walk out to the parking lot. No one's bothering you, I'm sure.
Yeah, but but the problem is the fucking state troopers are the ones in charge there. So it's not just like, oh, like fucking racetrack security. Like there are troopers fucking floating around the fucking parking lot. The thing is, to be honest, I've never seen them once fucking do anything to anybody about it. And it's not just me. Like a lot of people blaze there outside. And I've never seen like that. I've seen them fucking stop cars like for people like drinking and like, you know, violations and shit. I've seen them, you know, they're inside watching for money laundering and they have their operations going. And like there's a million of them, like everything's under surveillance. And they must see us fucking hanging out there in the parking lot and shit, right? But I don't think they care. I don't know, for one reason or another. They just don't seem to give a shit. But I never want to test it and find out. Dude, when I didn't know that. Fuck, I used to roll spliffs on the table there. Like, I'd be sitting at the fucking book, not like open, but you know what I mean, in my hand and fucking not overly hiding it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, fucking just sort of like I'm in a bar or something, and I never realized. And then fucking one day I clued in. I'm like, holy shit, fuck. There's like fucking 13 fucking trooper cars in the back lot here. And then I slowly started to realize, like, holy fuck, like, what am I doing? And but now I'm much slicker, fuck. I know where to go and shit. I know the spots, you know. Manhattan, New York is cool though. They don't care. They don't care. But they haven't, like you said, they didn't care in Toronto before for years, fuck, right? I mean, it was rare. You had to get a real fucking prick cop for them to fucking care about weed on the street in Toronto. And it happened to me a few times. Fucking once they took my stuff. Another time I nearly missed the radio show or the TV show on The Score, fuck, years ago. Like 5 minutes before the show, they still had me. But I was lucky. All right, Jeff. So I'll let you know what happens if we go to WrestleMania, and I'll post pictures though this weekend. I'll be at the sports book. I'm probably not going to go to WrestleMania. We'll see if the tickets, if they plunge, I'll go. But I'll probably get some cool shots even Saturday of like the gear, the trucks outside. I wouldn't be surprised if Saturday night the lights are all on and we'll get them fucking. You know, there'll be shit going on around there. Like I said, like with the audition. So we'll get some inside footage for you. Jeff Feinberg. But to be honest, I'm not going to go. I always say I'm going to go to these things, and I never do. Especially, I know myself. Like if I get blasted on Saturday, I'll be all hungover Sunday, and I'm not going to want to go anywhere. But I am up for like a wrestling event. I wouldn't mind going to that fucking that Hall of Fame shit, to be honest. But there's no one in. I don't really care about the people that are being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I don't care about fucking Torrie Wilson going to the Hall of Fame. Like what's this? WrestleCon. I think WrestleCon's like Comic-Con, except for wrestlers. See, this I'd rather go to this than the event. See, this is what I'm talking about. Meet 200 wrestling superstars. It's all right. Who's appearing at this? All right. Superstars. Detailed listing. Well, this is very detailed. Oh, they got it all. This is what I'm talking about. The Abyss is canceled. This is in Manhattan too, so. All right, so and I like this. It tells you. So you see what you got to pay to get in, then you got to pay these motherfuckers on top of it, eh? All right, so let's see. Is there anyone I want to see here? Arn Anderson. Listen, I like Arn Anderson, but fuck, I'm not paying Arn Anderson fucking 30 fucking bucks for a fucking photo. David Arquette, Tony Atlas, Baby Doll, Bob Backlund. Look at this, you see. Look, Abyss, canceled by WWE. Brutus Beefcake, canceled by WWE. Vince McMahon still controls these motherfuckers, even to the fucking end. Eric Bischoff. Yeah, I think you could take King Kong Bundy's and they deceased. Yeah, no shit, fuck. Like, booth location, King Kong Bundy, not announced, fuck. Oh, fuck, like, yeah, fucking wrestling business. Look at wrestling business, booth, not announced. Well, yeah, he's not going to be appearing in any booth, guys. See, even this is kind of lame, though. Like, they don't, like, there's no one that I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll go and fuck it. I want to meet that guy. Christian, Jonathan Coachman, fuck, yeah. Like, I'm going to fucking pay, I'm going to pay fucking to take a picture with Jonathan Coachman. Where are the chicks? There's no, like, where are the old chicks? Oh, here's Ric Flair. 100 bucks for a picture for Ric Flair. Mick Foley. Oh, my boy, Billy Gunn. I do like Scott Hall. I do like Scott Hall. Oh, Bret Hart. 80 bucks, fuck. kind of lame though. Like, what happened to fucking? What happened to paying to getting into the event? Fuck. So you got to pay to get into the event, and you got to give these guys all this money. It's a lot of money, man. Like, I like Bret Hart a lot, and I like to support Bret Hart, but $80 for a picture is a little steep, man. Like, don't you think $80 is a little rough? I mean, come on, fuck. Like, I get it. You know, you got to make. Here's the Iron Sheik, $50 for a picture. Frank Mir. Fuck, I have a picture. I already have a picture of Frank Mir. I need to pay $30. No, Kevin Nash. I am a Kevin Nash fan. $60. Ron Simmons. I like Ron Simmons. But $50, fuck. Come on, man. Like, dude, like, these, fuck. So what, you know, when you go here and you take 10 pictures with people, you're like, you're down $500. Renee Young. Oh, Greg Valentine. I didn't know he was alive. I like Greg the Hammer. So what's the deal here? What do you get? So what's pricing auto photo op combo? Jesse Ventura. Barry Windham. So what's the deal? Does anything happen here? Like, what's the event though? All right, here live events. Like, it can't be. What am I paying to get in to see here? That's Thursday. Joey Ryan penis party. The fuck is this? I don't even know if I want to click this. I don't want to. What the hell is a Joey Ryan penis party? Pancakes and pile drivers. That sounds better than a penis party. 11 a.m. That's too early. All right, I apologize, but let's see this. I don't. The hell is this? Black Taurus, the Puma King, Shark Boy, Mystery Iguana, the Green Ant. What was? I don't. I don't. What am I missing here? Yeah, there's shit everywhere, man. Here's the super card. Madison Square Garden lineup. I don't know who any of these people are. Like I have not heard of one like I don't know. Like I don't know. I've seen Ring of Honor on TV before, but I guess these are Japanese people. I don't know. It must be good. People seem to be going fucking ape shit over this shit. White Eagle Hall, Jersey City. What's the IWS? Oh, the IWS, my boys. What, Beef Wellington and shit? Man, they're really going hardcore with this shit. PCP Manny. Yeah, the wrestlers in Montreal have good names. The Beef Wellington. Who was the other guy they used to have on? Was it Twiggy or what was his name? Fuck. Texas wins 58-44. Yeah, Addy Starr, that's the one too. Yeah, yeah. There's Japanese. Man, you got something for everybody. Like it really is like a wrestling. You can't get more wrestling than this shit. Seems like the entire wrestling world is here. Like this is your neck of the woods, Queens. This is the same one we already saw, right? This is the super card. Yeah, same thing. It's just different promo. Rev Pro UK Wrestling. Next takeover. People like this shit. That was this sweet package WrestleMania weekend Hall of Fame NXT. Oh, you get the suite at the Barclays Center for it all. That'd be expensive. NXT viewing party. WWE Hall of Fame Saturday. Extremely serious wrestling. Monday nights with Mark Henry. Like, man, you guys, as you see, here's Impact. That's like tonight or tomorrow or something. I could actually get tickets to that. But I want to go on the weekend. Oh, shit. Extreme midget wrestling. You gotta like that. BLP. Yeah, so it looks like, the Saturday one at MSG. How much is that? StubHub. No, that's not the event I want. There's another one. Here's all the prices. The 4-day pass. It's actually not bad if you're into this shit. $380, $100. You get an NXT, Monday Night Raw. See, I don't know what this means. Like WrestleMania Access Saturday session. So what is it, like an interview with them or something? Sort of like a Q&A. Wow, it's only $12 to go to the Hall of Fame, really? Wow. Pretty cheap for the Hall of Fame. Pretty cheap for the Hall of Fame. $12. Zach Greinke hit a home run, huh? I have Zach Greinke as my pitcher tonight. I don't get any credit for that, though, huh? We told you on Game Time Decisions, take Blake Snell. 43 points for Blake Snell. All right, well, at least we hit Texas. What happened in that Wisconsin Green Bay game? I don't know. I have a parlay with Marshall. Holy shit. They won by 1 point. The moneyline parlay hits. I forgot to post it. If you're listening to the show, I talked about it. I threw it together at the last second. Wow. Moneyline parlay. Green Bay wins 87-86. Both games go under the number. They were both really high totals. So the basketball really is winding down, but we'll get into the women's actually. We got the Final Four of the women on Friday. And there's numbers that have been posted. We've got Baylor -7 against Oregon, total 147.5. And Connecticut and Notre Dame. I'm actually looking forward to that game, Connecticut and Notre Dame, on Friday night. That's going to be fucking nuts. These teams have played each other a lot over the years. If you remember, Notre Dame beat them on like a buzzer beater and shit. I think they might have broken their streak, actually. And people like were kind of down on UConn this year, and here they are in the Final Four. I think UConn could be live. I'll do a little more research, but I've made stupider bets than betting on the UConn women's basketball team. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, solid parlay. Thanks, Spencer. We won by 1 point. Real solid. Skooma is going to WrestleMania. I know our boy Matt Mingo's coming down. We got the Final Four on Saturday, too. Yeah, I don't listen, man. I know Notre Dame are good and shit, but anytime you get into UConn women as an underdog, it's hard not to pay attention to that. We'll have to dig in a little deeper. We'll have to dig in a little deeper into that. Before we get out of here, just to wrap things up, take a look at the baseball board here. Oh, we actually have a money line baseball parlay. I don't know what happened with Houston. Oh, fuck, Houston lost, so fuck me. Fuck. That's what happens. You bet parlays. Listen, I didn't lose the juice. I put it in a parlay, but the Boston Red Sox are now being shut out right now. The Yankees lost again tonight. Tampa won again. I know it's early, man, but it's not like Tampa is a joke. You know, I know like they don't really have anybody, and people think, oh, Tampa, and even me. It's not like they draw anybody either. Fuck, they should just move to Montreal. But like Tampa, for real, like they won 90+ games last year. They won like 92 games or something. It's not like, it's like, oh, it's kind of a fluke. It's like, I don't know. They're just a good organization. You know what I mean? They scout better than anyone in baseball. Like if you look at the Marlins don't spend money, but they're not as good at scouting anymore. They used to be good at it. Basically, the Marlins were good before because of the Expos. Jeffrey Loria, when he left Montreal and he got the Marlins, he took the Expos scouting staff. There's this guy, his name was Fred Ferreira. This guy, Ferreira. And he was like the fucking Dominican kingpin, this guy. You know what I mean? Like Vladimir Guerrero, he found Vladimir Guerrero. You go down the list, like basically Pedro Martinez, like he if you look this guy up and his track record of players that he found, it's nuts, fuck. And that's what made the Expos competitive. Like even though the Expos had no money, the Expos had a very good farm system over the years. Like they really did a good job scouting because they had to, right? They knew, all right, we better have a star scout here, fuck, right? So they had like a star scout, and Loria took them to fucking Florida. They're old A stadium shots. So yeah, Listen, people are going to start to because it's the Yankees and because it's the Red Sox. There's going to be big reactions to this. But the thing with the Yankees is they really have a ton of injuries, and the Yankees are a fragile team. They're good, but I've said this a million times, man. When you rely on the home run, it's like shooting a 3-ball. You know, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. And they've got less guys in the lineup now, too. They can get it done. You got to wonder about Boone in the long run here. It's kind of a strange hire. Now, you know, obviously, we're 1 week into the season here, but one thing that's a reality is the Yankees are money burners. You can't bet on them. The Yankees continue to burn money. Baltimore are just killing it, because they're big underdogs every day. Baltimore are killing it. What's up with Seattle right now? Seattle have been that other hot team. Seattle and the Angels are tied at 1. They're tied at 1 in the 7th. Boston and Oakland, it's 1-0 in the top of the 6th for Oakland. The Twins have come back. They're up 5-4 right now. The Dodgers are up 5-2. I knew the Dodgers would bounce back tonight. D-backs are up 4-2. Don't look now, but the New York Mets keep winning. The Mets are now 4-1 on the season. And what's impressive about that, I haven't played a home game yet. They haven't played a home game yet. Wow. Colorado scores 6 straight goals, huh? The A's will get saved, Kyle. The A's will be saved because the Raiders leaving, the Golden State Warriors leaving. They're not going to let the A's go, too. There's nothing really they can do, though. They're not getting a new stadium. I mean, all they could do is maybe try to renovate that stadium a bit. The problem is they just don't have any money in Oakland. Like the city, you know what I mean? Like it's a poor city, so it's hard to justify spending money, but they're going to have to just because otherwise they're going to be wiped off the map completely. The Oakland A's leave. No one's like, you know, I mean, they're screwed. Like the Golden State Warriors are moving to San Francisco next year. And you can't really hate on them for doing it. It is what it is. You know, the arena that they play in is antiquated in Oakland. It is a hellhole. And you can't really just rip the Warriors because the Warriors used to play the Warriors were in San Francisco before they were in Oakland. So, yeah, I mean, it's really just a bridge. It's like Jersey and fucking New York type of thing. Like it's literally the bridge. So, you know, it's so close. The Warriors are still going to practice in Oakland. They're going to build a practice facility there, which is a nice gesture, actually, not to like just totally leave Oakland behind. Now, listen, there's no guarantees. You know, there's no guarantees. Anything can happen, you know. Baseball's not going to wait around forever. But the fact, like I said, like the fact that the Raiders are going to be gone, the Warriors are going to be gone, it'll open things up politically to keep the A's, basically. Like you look at San Diego. Would the San Diego Padres be spending all this money right now if the San Diego Chargers were still there? No. Shit changes. You know what I mean? Suddenly there's sports fans. Like when the Raiders are going to be gone, suddenly there's a bunch of sports fans that had a certain amount of money that were spending on sports events that suddenly will say, you know what? I used to be a season ticket holder for the Raiders, but they're not here anymore. So now I support the A's. right? Like they're going to be the only show left in town. And you see, like San Diego saw that. They're like, look, there's no Chargers here. There's no soccer team here. There's jack shit. Fuck. So if we spend some money and we actually get a decent team, we can really fucking take this city over and fucking fill this stadium up. And look, San Diego early, there's enthusiasm about the team. But really, it could come down to the fact that, you know, they move in the area type thing, right? But because the city of Oakland is poor. But I don't know. They came close to San Jose before. I know they were going to, there was a big thing to build a stadium in San Jose, but San Jose, California as a whole is broke. Like the state of California, it's not a popular thing to talk about stadiums. Like they already have a bunch of stadiums, so they don't really want to hear about it. Like the Ram Stadium and shit, they got some money out of it, and it was basically passed through without like public consultation. They did it like they just did it, and they did it because fucking Buddy owns Walmart and all that other shit that he owns. Fuck the guy AAK or whatever, the entertainment company too. So they were scared of him in LA and shit. So city council bent over, Inglewood, wherever the fuck it is, bent over a bit. But he's throwing a lot of his own money in. There's not a, you know. Exactly. Kroenke, that's it. Yeah, Kroenke got like some land deal and shit. You know, he got a couple of perks, but for the most part, he put the money in. It's his stadium, you know? And that's why they're charging so much for the personal seat license and all that shit. I never looked at the Nationals like the Expos, Kyle. But it's different. There weren't the Expos. They changed their name. You know what I mean? Like if the Montreal Expos would have moved to like fucking Quebec City or something, I would have been an Expo fan still, you know? Or if they would have moved to Ottawa, I would have been like, yeah, it sucks, but you know, it's different. Like they weren't, you know, they were a different team, they were a different city. It was completely different. The franchise didn't exist anymore. Yeah, he owns everything, fuck. Yeah, the old Hollywood race park, yeah, track. Kroenke owns everything, fuck. Yeah, he owns the Avalanche. He owns the soccer team, MLS. What's the? I forget the name of the company. It's the company that fucking got sued by Michael Jackson and shit. They're the biggest like promoting company in America. It's like Live Nation in Canada. What are they called? Fucking AEK Entertainment or AIG. What is it? It's three letters. It's something like that. They do all the fucking big concert tours and shit. And like he basically has a stranglehold on arenas and stadiums, this guy. And I don't understand too, he's not allowed to own multiple teams, but somehow this motherfucker has a team in every league. I think he owns the Denver Nuggets too. Like he owns a shitload of things and he just has it like in different, like, oh, it's the daughter or it's this, it's the fucking wife, it's the fucking whatever. Like it's always, you know, rich people have the way around this shit. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know why the Brits allowed it. You have all these American NFL owners and shit that buy these EPL teams and run them into the ground. Yeah, the lorries, right? Like all that stuff in LA, like the Staples Center. Like I'm not saying he owns the Staples Center, but I think he does. I think he does, but like that complex, you know, the ESPN zone, like all that reverberation, like pretty, like I said, he owns a shitload of sports complexes, arenas, stadiums. He's got his hand in everything, that guy. Leagues. He's in every league besides baseball. I don't think he's involved with baseball. Like I had Colorado Avalanche, LA Rams, LA Galaxy, Denver Nuggets. Doesn't he own the fucking St. Louis Blues too? Like, or like his whatever, like in the family, you know what I mean? I think they own the Blues. He's got his beak in everything, this guy. Yeah, like they all do this. Like they all buy the team. Like the guy that owned the Montreal Canadiens did that. The George Gillette guy, he bought into Liverpool. They ran him out of town fast. Fuck. All right, I got to get out of here. We appreciate everybody joining us here this evening. Tomorrow night, Babano joins us. We'll get more serious about the Final Four tomorrow. We'll get into that. And we have the NIT final on Thursday. NHL playoffs, the matchups are going to be set soon. Mercifully, the playoffs will start next week. So business will start picking up next week. We'll get, it'll be a lot more standing, yelling, screaming, and great time of the sports years around the corner. NHL and NBA playoffs. I saw someone saying, where's Bruce? Where is Bruce tonight? Bruce not in the house at all this evening. You figure he would have come and maybe he had like a fucking aneurysm or something because maybe he had like an aneurysm because the Toronto team's lost. Yeah, that's at the same time as the Final Four, though, Drew. But yeah, maybe I'm going to check this shit out. And yeah, if you missed Babano's call on the radio last week, it was fucking hilarious. I specifically asked him, I said, what are you up to? It's Friday night. I said, sometimes you go out. He goes, oh, nothing. And we hear all this noise. And then after, he goes, oh, I'm in a diner. It's like, well, we just asked you, what are you doing? Like, we could have just said, like, he never gives you anything voluntarily, this guy. He's defensive about everything. All right. Thanks, Fanatical Jim. Thanks, Chris Edge. See you later, Gino, Drew, Jimmy Mack, Cody, Kyle Johnson, Shano, stressing out, Spencer S., Skooma, Ryan C., and everybody else in between that I don't see in the chat here with Lisa, Nate Brooks. Thanks to Feinberg for joining us. We'll see you in the morning. Other than that, you're on your own. Later. Fucking Astros.